I am now here with Bekah, and she's going to help us understand what signs to look for with anxiety. And let's just start with this, Bekah. What is anxiety?
Anxiety really is a response to a perceived threat in our life, whether that's a real threat like the dog chasing you down the street,
Right, which could be one.
Or a perceived threat of something could be harmful or dangerous for you, maybe a test at school, for example.
Sure, okay, and I know here at Cascade Academy they treat teenage girls specifically. Why do teenage girls really suffer more than boys with anxiety?
They do, twice the rate. And there's a lot of things behind this. A lot of times when kids are growing up, boys get a lot of messages of go try and do hard things. And girls get a lot of messages of be careful, watch out, did you think about this? From really well-meaning but very protective parenting. And sometimes they feel like they don't have the skills to do what it is that they need to do and start doubting themselves and questioning themselves.
Okay, that's so interesting to know. And then you have the pandemic, and I'm sure that didn't help, made things much worse.
Yes, so anxiety is the #1 mental health disorder for adolescents across the world, and definitely in the United States, about 31% of kids have a diagnosable anxiety disorder and 10% are in the severe category. Since the pandemic, we know that's increased at least 20%, probably more.
Okay, what signs are we going to look for with our teenage girls?
Yeah, there's a lot to look for. Sometimes retrospectively, parents look back and say, oh, I see now that my child when they were younger was anxious, but it seemed normal or workable or manageable. But really, you should start getting concerned if you see your child not doing things that they're really interested in. School refusal, not showing up to a birthday party, not wanting to do a club or a hobby that they're really naturally gifted at or interested in, and pulling back from things and making their world smaller.
Right, absolutely. Now, why is it so important to just treat anxiety, like here at Cascade Academy, they just treat it itself?
Right. It's a very specialized approach that you can take. If you're treating lots of different things in a treatment facility, you may not specialize as well and know that you have the right evidence-based practices for what you're dealing with. So at Cascade Academy, we used evidence-based models, cognitive behavior therapy, and exposure response prevention. And that model says we're going to help you approach the fear. We're going to help you avoid avoidance and go get comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's how your brain learns that you can go do the things that were previously causing you to avoid or retreat from your life.
Okay, that's so interesting to know. What about social media? Because I'm sure that really adds a lot to it.
Absolutely. You can see time and time again in research that since social media has been introduced, anxiety, depression, teen suicide has skyrocketed. And I think a big piece of that, it's the ultimate keeping up with the Joneses, but on steroids. It's like in your face all the time, and it's not even real, right? It's not reality.
It's our highlight reel.
Exactly. And that's what people are comparing themselves to, rather than connecting on a personal level and really understanding people more in depth. They get their highlight reel.
Right. And so you guys focus on age, what ages here?
13 to 18.
13 to 18. What age can girls start to have anxiety, or children?
Yeah, so a lot of things that we know about anxiety is that it's also genetic. So oftentimes anxious kids have anxious parents. And if you look closely, you can usually start seeing signs in preschool, elementary age certainly. And a lot of it can resolve and does resolve on its own with supportive parenting interventions. And if not, you'll really get a good picture around adolescence. We do see another spike of girls needing more support for anxiety and depression.
Thanks so much, Bekah.
Thank you.
Wow, we have learned a lot. Now, we've talked a little bit about what anxiety is, what it looks like, the signs to look for. Coming up next, we will talk about how to treat anxiety and how they are helping these girls. That's next.